Yes, okay, I guess we're going. I am hands-free. Today I want to talk to you about passion and metaphors. Passion, because if kids fall in love with it, they will become experts. Metaphoria, because I want kids to have mental models with which to think, models that are durable and independent of the computer. Now, for a little trip down memory lane. You know, I never thought I would use computers with kids, because back in the 70s I was a humanist. Okay, still am, but they were so mechanistic. But I decided to take a course with Ron Ragsdale and Oisey. We used the Commodore PET. We learned BASIC, because there were really no programs available until a little later. So I kept asking myself, what can the computer do for me? What can it do for me? And after a few nights I realized I was kind of asking the wrong question. I had the wrong expectation, the wrong belief. It's not what can the computer do for me, but rather, what can I do with this computer? What can I do with this computer? Who is in control? So, after that evening, I was kind of moved. So, 1977, I went and rented the dumb terminal for a month, took it in my grade 1 class, hooked it up to a telephone line, connected to Oisey, and I taught these little underprivileged grade 1s to do simple programming in BASIC. Print Janine 10 times. You should have seen their faces. They squared their shoulders, held their heads high. They're really in control. They want to struggle some more. They want to try new things. They want to fail more. They didn't have a computer each the bad thing? No, because it was a social event. It was really like a happening. It was shared. They all had a stake in it, not just what they did, but also what the other kids did. Sort of passionate collaboration. Passion drives learning in many ways. There's sometimes, scientists really only are beginning to understand now, though it's obvious to many of us at an intuitive level. There's a strong link between emotion and learning. Capture their hearts, and you'll have their attention. Now let me demonstrate a little logo, a constructionist tool that's been around for a few decades. Kids teach a turtle to behave as they wish. For example, let's teach it to make a square. You type in forward 100, make it turn 90 degrees, do that 3 more times, draws a square. You can do the same thing for a triangle, as we'll see in a second. Or any other shape. Notice the turtle completes a trip of 360 degrees. So check out the math. 4 times 90, 360. 3 times 120, 360. 5 times 72, 360 for a pentagon. This is the total turtle trip theorem. A cool wee metaphor. Now, kids were asked to write a story about a total turtle trip. Leanne, aged 8, wrote, "Once there was a turtle. He was very curious. He wanted to take a trip. So he said, 'I'm going on a trip.' 'Well, what if you fall and land upon your back?' his mother asked. 'I won't do that.' And off he went. When he was walking along, he met Father Bunny. 'Where are you off to on this fine spring morning?' 'I'm going on a trip around the world.' But what if you..." Turtle didn't hear. He was halfway down the road. He started down a big hill, but tripped and tumbled down the hill, landed on his back, and there he stayed. Meanwhile, Turtle's mother got worried and went to find him. She found him on his back. She helped him to his feet, and he said, "I guess I took a total turtle trip." Thank you. Did she understand that concept? Let's see. I asked kids to make a polygon, and I was amazed because she not only understood the concept at hand, but realized that she could have the computer do the division, 360 by 11. And this made the creation of any polygon really easy. Pentagon was 360 divided by 5, and so on. So a really nice metaphorical leap there. You can also teach the turtle new words, procedures. Square is a procedure. Flower is also a procedure, but a special one, because it contains another procedure, square. So square is a sub-procedure, and flower is a super procedure. So Metaphoria time, transfer. This grade 2 class happened to see the space shuttle piggybacked on a jumbo jet. And when we returned to the classroom, a discussion erupted. Is Earth in space? And in asking the question, She determined, yes, it must be, because it wasn't sitting on anything. And then the little hellion kid, Jeffrey, in the corner, who actually, wouldn't sit with us, he'd hang his legs off the table, he piped up. And he said, it's sort of like Logo. What do you mean? Well, the Earth is like a procedure. It's like a sub-procedure inside the solar system. And the solar system is like the super-procedure. And the solar system is like a sub-procedure inside the universe. And the universe is like a super-procedure. Wow. What's the biggest super-procedure, I said. Well, I don't know, I guess the universe. But Jeffrey now had a new mental model in his thinking repertoire. Now, if their program didn't work, they had mistakes or bugs in their thinking. So finding bugs was really part of the deal. We built a large paper-mache turtle, and when the bugs were found, they were fed to the turtle. But the transfer, 2 kids were working together over in the corner, working on some traditional math thing, and they knew that there was something wrong. And one student said to the other, there's a bug in here somewhere. We better find it. Metaphoria in action, more mental models. I then explicitly taught them Metaphoria by using sentence starters in their journal. Planning in Logo is like bobbing for apples. Finding a bug in a program is like an eagle looking for prey by the ocean. So, more current issues right now, tech issues. The internet has really changed the way we read. There's no doubt about it. Some say this is a good thing, some say it's a bad thing. I say it is what it is, let's deal with it. So let's take control of the opportunity to read differently, and let's opportunistically and deliberately choose how we read. Nicholas Carr, in his book, What's the Internet Doing to Our Brains, The Shallow, says, once I was a scuba diver in a sea of words. Now I zip along the surface like a guy in a jet ski. So let's effectively use this metaphor to educate our students. It's part of the new literacy our students must acquire, a digital literacy. So kids, you got some background knowledge from these? Get some background knowledge from these sources in order to develop driving questions for your projects. Here's a paragraph I'd like you to examine to determine what the author's intention is. You ask them some of that stuff and then say, you're going to scuba dive or jet ski? Get that into their hands. And it's best when they have the ownership around it, making the metaphor. In summary, let's help kids develop mental models with which to think. I've used collaborative journal writing to support their own metaphorical creations. Let's allow them to be in control so that they're passionate to learn. And let's do this in a culture of authenticity, passion, of we-ness. Together we question, we struggle with contradictions, and we learn through conversation. Thank you very much.